It is time for another yard update. This is my tree. If I can get it to look right. It is probably about 16 feet tall, and it started out at about 10. So that's doing its thing. And this is the other tree. It was shaded quite a bit. Goodness, I can't see that. It's shaded quite a bit, so it only gets to like maybe 10 foot tall now, and it started out at 6. So I lopped off some of the tree. You're not gonna be able to tell, but pretend. But it's just gonna be limited until this tree goes away because it's blocking a lot of the sun. This is my fence that I have torn down and put another one up in its place. I'm making progress on it. Takes a little bit of time, effort, but eventually it'll have more rails across there. There's 2. It'll probably end up having 3. And so had to paint all the posts, had to put the post holder in the ground to hold the posts. If you'll be able to see that. And just lots and lots of posts and rails to paint and do when it's not raining and on my days off and everything else. This is the next part, the next section. Again, I gotta put more rails up, but I'm just making progress. These I had to cement in the ground because they're only in the ground a little bit. And I hit rock, so I had to stop. So these are cemented in, which I didn't want to do because now you can't move them. It's completely, whatever they are, it's there. You're done. This was a huge adventure. Since last fall, I've cleaned out pretty much this whole area here of trees and stumps and objects and rocks and everything else. So that's a lot of work, but makes me feel better that even though it's not perfect yet, I'm still making progress. So let's see. This is a tree. There's how big it was. It's about a foot across there, so it's really big. And let me skip some section, I'll come back to it. That's where it came from. It was leaning towards the fence, and it was shading the other trees, the new trees I put in last year. So it was just a hindrance. It was half dead, half of it was burnt from the neighbor who had burnt down his house or mobile home. So I don't know. I didn't want it there anymore. These are the Chinese elms that I had gotten from before that are really small leaves and nice and everything else. They started out at 6 feet and now they're about at 10 or 12. They're supposed to be good, fast growers anyway, but I'm just really happy that my trees are doing the right thing. There's another one. I don't know how to fix the muddy ground. The answer should be bring in a whole bunch of dirt and re-level it, but I don't know if I care. It just rained the day before yesterday, so it'll eventually go away. My blackberries have flowers on them, which make me excited. I don't know if I'm gonna promise, but I'm gonna try to take off the blackberries as soon as I can to see if they'll grow more of them. Normally I just leave them on there until I eat half of them and birds eat half of them, but I'm gonna try to take them away so that I'll see if they can make them produce more. This is a 1% project. Even though it's spotty grass, it was completely gravel before, like 100% gravel. And now there's at least 50% grass. So hopefully it keeps filling in. I built this little lean-to type of thing. It's not fastened to the house, it's self-supported. I put bricks at the bottom to keep it weighted down, so basically it have to be tornado to make it go away, but it keeps all the leaves out of my heat pump, which makes me feel better. Also should keep the rain off it and snow and ice and everything else. So hopefully that lasts longer. This is where I put my gas under the ground. That was a lot of work. And this is what it produced. Where the gas comes out, electricity comes out, and control power comes out for standby generator. It's by Cummins. It is, I think it's Lockville. Yeah. It is 20 kilowatts. It's enough to run my whole house. There's a transfer switch under the house that I had to put in, which was really hard. Well, I could try to show you that. And the idea is I'd like to be able to, sorry for pointing it at nothing. I'd like to be able to have power when the power goes out, not just because it went out for a short period, 1 or 2 days. What if it goes out for a week? I'm too technology based that I don't know what to do without an alarm clock. How do I wake up on time to go to work? How do I charge my car enough to go to work? How do I keep my food safe? How do I do all these different kind of things that I'm used to having technology for, electricity for, and now I don't? So, charge my cell phone, just a whole bunch of things. See if I can do this without making a mess or make you dizzy. There's the transfer switch. It's just a gray box. Got the cables going in from the house, from the generator, and then back out to the house. Oh, well, I do say it. From the pole, from the generator, and then back out to the house. I had put rubber mats down before. I just kept expanding them as time goes on, so that when I crawl under here, it's not in dirt. I can literally put my knees on them and it doesn't make me cry and digging your rocks into you and such. So, it's kind of a good thing. I don't know. That's mostly it. I'm still happy with my landscaping guy that comes out and mows the yard for like $50 once a month. That way I don't have to do it. I don't have to keep track of the lawnmower and maintenance and weed eating and everything else. He does everything. So that's kind of nice. So I'm super happy about my generator. I'm still happy about my lean-to. I'm happy little things here and there, like making the grass grow. Trees are growing. Blackberries are growing. And, oh, yeah, you don't care, but this is a water timer that's on Wi-Fi. So I can turn my water on a schedule, like every 3 days or whatever it is. But if it rains, I can also go in there and tell it to not turn on, so it doesn't just waste water when I don't need it. So that's kind of nice. Things are going pretty well. My solar has done so well that I've gotten down to $38, or normally it would be like $88 right now. That's kind of nice. I have stuff to get rid of from the old fence. It was put in the ground unpainted from below ground, so it was just rotted basically out. And what was above ground was still not painted very well or treated, so it was rotting out too. So I'll have to get rid of those somehow. This is what it looks like to have more rails. And the hard part is not painting the rails or the posts. It's cutting the post. I have to cut this for length. That's not hard. But I have to notch it to fit in the post holder. So I gotta make a round post turn into a square. That's not as easy. Can be done, just not as easy. So, and then these are the hardest parts. The brackets, so that I'm supporting the rails as you're going under the fence. That's kind of hard to paint those because they stick to everything. I'm just painting it here, and then they stick to the paint that's left over from when you splash your brush, and then it peels off, and then you end up with less paint on it than you started with. So anyway, eventually that'll be done. Here's what a post holder looks like. Goes in the ground pretty good ways. Really pretty far. And then square top with a bolt and put some screws through it and everything else. That's my yard update. I will talk with you later. One more shot, maybe you can get how tall that is. Kind of proud of my tree. Later.